Good morning. So welcome back. It's Dynamic Balance Day 5 and building from the ground up, feet, legs, spine, and then how do we spiral using the whole body. Come lie on the floor and we shall begin. Yes, okay. So land. Feel the floor beneath you. Just get a sense, maybe just wiggle your spine, unpack your shoulders. So to unpack your shoulders, you're going to lift an elbow forward and then drop your shoulder and then your arm down and then lift the other elbow forward and drop your shoulder and then your elbow down. And then lift your pelvis, really sink it into the floor and then feel your feet on the floor. Notice the tension or the relaxation of your neck and your jaw. How would you find just wiggling your head a little bit? How would you find a softer place for your neck to be? Could you have a little bit more shoulders on the floor? So for me, if I bring the backs of my hand to the floor, the front of my chest begins to open. I have a sense of widening into the floor. Nice. So walk your feet so they're closer together and then draw your right knee up towards you. And keeping your arms where they are, we're going to use our leg effort. So squeeze your right knee as close to your chest as you can. And notice there's many different parts of you engaging to create this movement. So there's your toes, your feet, your ankle, your calf, your knees, your thigh, your hips, your buttocks, the deep belly. Nice. And now stretch your right leg long so it floats just above the floor and really feel like you're pushing a stone away from you with your right leg. Nice. Squeeze your knee up onto your chest. Squeeze it deeply down. And then stretch your right leg long and push. Often I push couches. Last night we had to move some of the beehives. So I was pushing the bee boxes with my feet as I sat on the floor. For me, it's a really powerful push, is the push of my leg. So feel that. Squeeze your knee up onto your chest and then push deeply. Push the couch with your leg. Have that sense. And as you do this, how does the deep of your belly respond? So begin to straighten out, feel that length, and then squeezing in, feel that shortening and that contraction. Length. Can you feel the length all the way down your leg? Nice. So same movement, but now we're going to do it with our toes squeezed in like little fists. So our toes are squeezed in, and so when we do that, it's like we take the slack out of our leg. It's like, it's like taking the slack out of your leg. So keeping your toes squeezed in, do the same movement. How is that to have your toes squeezed in as you squeeze your knee up, as you lengthen long? What changes? Nice. Bring your foot to the floor. Other side. Squeeze the left knee up as close as you can. Really feel your leg effort as you squeeze your knee in. And then push like you're pushing the couch. Lengthen into that left leg. Nice. Draw your knee up towards you. Push. Knee up towards you. Push. And just begin to really feel, how does my leg, my foot, my knee, my thigh connect into my belly, my hip, and my spine? Nice. Squeeze your toes in like fists. Same movement. Lengthen long. Squeeze it in. Lengthen long. Squeeze it in. Nice. Both feet to the floor. Arms are long beside you. Feet are hip distance apart. And then roll up and down along your spine. So travel up. Squeeze your bum as you travel up, but keep your bum squeezed as you travel down. Notice how it changes how you move when you keep the contraction at the back of your body, even though you're traveling down. So traveling up and down. When you're all the way down, relax your bum and then squeeze and rise upwards again. How do you make this really juicy for your spine? How do you find that front of body line of connection? So there's a certain point that as I rise, I just feel it's like a field phenomenon in my body. It's like where suddenly, I'm below the underwater, and then suddenly as my hips rise, there's a certain moment where I feel I'm at the surface tension of the ocean, the surface of the ocean, and then I go back down under the ocean again. So how does it feel to you when you rise up and meet that connected plane of movement where you've really leaned into the front of your hips, the front of your thighs? What happens in your body? Are both sides connected evenly? One of my legs always is slightly different, but it's still there. It's still on the surface, but slightly different. Nice. All the way down. Just rock your knees from side to side. Super. So we've been doing this movement every day. Draw your knees up onto your chest. Squeeze them in with your hands. Bring your feet to the floor. Drop your arms overhead. Keep your head on the floor for this version. Squeeze your knees up onto your chest. Feet to the floor. Lift. Squeeze. And lift. So we're going to do a variation of this. So squeeze your knees up towards your chest. Hug your knees in. And then as you reach your arms overhead, keep your right knee where it is and lengthen your left leg long. So now my arms are floating overhead. My left leg is long, floating above the floor. My right knee is squeezing up towards me. Squeeze both knees in. Hug them in. Keep your left leg where it is as you lengthen long into your right leg as you reach your arms overhead. Squeeze. Lengthen long. Squeeze. Long. How deeply can you pull your left knee towards you? How deeply can you keep that stability in the bending leg as you lengthen long into the straightening leg? Squeeze and lengthen. Nice. We're going to try both legs. So go really slowly. Squeeze both knees in and then extend your legs out at a 45-degree angle. Keep your lower back on the floor as much as possible. So you're not letting your whole back arch, which is just a change in position of your pelvis. Instead, you're stabilizing with the abdominal muscles. Squeeze your knees in. As you reach your arms overhead, come to a 45-degree angle. Squeeze. Long. How do you get that feeling of pushing the couch with your legs? Nice. Bring both feet to the floor. Pause deeply. So find that movement that we did at the beginning. Unpack your shoulders. Lengthen into your arms. Find a place where your neck and throat are relaxing. Feel the length of your spine. Feel your feet on the floor. Nice. So lengthen your left leg long so it comes to the floor and draw your right knee up towards your chest. Your arms are wide and straight out to the sides, and then bend your elbows. And then draw your left knee over towards the right. And as I do that, I'm going to use my elbows in different ways and then come back to center. I'm doing the wrong leg. So draw your left knee over towards the right. and then come back to center. So as you do this, use your left elbow as you travel over, but you're also using your left elbow as you slow the movement down as you come back. So how do you stay really connected to this movement? You can, if you want to make it stronger, let your right leg float and do the same movement, but your right leg is floating above the floor and your left knee is bent. How do you twist? And so stay connected to your feet. Can you widen into your toes? Can you really deepen into your legs? That as you twist, you feel my two legs are moving. I am connected. Nice. Try the other side. So stretch your left leg long, draw your right knee up onto your chest, bend your elbows, bring them to the floor. And then pushing your right elbow more, draw your right knee over towards the left. And then come back. So in the beginning, really feel the mobility of what we're doing. But widen your toes, connect into the full of your legs. If you want to make it a bit harder or more intense, float your left foot off the floor so your leg is long and floating, and then do the same movement. Always, you can intensify or you can choose to down regulate the movement because of whatever reason. You were in the garden, you drove to Dublin, you tweaked your back. Always adapting. Nice. One more time. How lovely. Pause. So we're going to take this connection of legs and spiraling up. So roll over. Come into your cat pose for just a moment. Hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Rounding your back and arching your back. Rounding. Arching. Rounding. Arching. So we're going to do a coordination here. So squeeze the right side. You can look back towards the foot on that side, squeeze the left side. So as you travel from side to side, really focus on squeezing or even, I'm going to say, nourishing the spine with movement. I feel like my body feeds on movement, that when I offer a really particular type of movement to my body, it gobbles it up. It goes, yum, 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 yum. So see that your movement is nourishing, is wholesome. That the movement choices that you're making are creating wellness. Nice. And as I move, I feel more and more of my waist. I can feel more and more of my neck included in the movement. It's like there's something softening and lengthening as I repeat. Nice. Come back to center. From here, bring your right foot out to the side and push down into the right baby toe edge of your foot. Pull your right elbow back. And so my chest is opening, and reach your right hand up towards the ceiling. So as you reach up towards the ceiling, widen into your chest, but push down into that baby toe side of your foot. Even like, so I'm going to bend my knee a tiny bit so that I'm engaging, oh, there's a bent knee, and then I'm going to straighten my leg. And the straightening of my leg brings me into connection with straightening. Whereas before, it just was. There was no deep connection into that straightening. Now, bend your right elbow and dive under your left armpit and reach your right hand towards the left. Pause. And breathing into it. Deepening your breath. Nice. Both hands to the floor, both knees to the floor. Other side. So bring your left foot out to the side. Pull your left elbow back and then open your chest towards the left. So my left leg It's not anything. It just is straight out in front of me. It's not doing any gesture. So I'm going to bend my left knee a little bit, and then I'm going to straighten my leg. And I feel like my foot is really glued to the floor. And now suddenly I'm like, oh, there's a leg that's really powerful and straightening. It's connecting where it is. My chest is opening. I have length through the front of my body. Nice. Bend your left elbow. Keep that connection to the left leg as you dive with your left hand under your right armpit. So there's so many places you could be feeling this. So really become engaged and dynamic with the different relationships that are happening. Often the inner dynamic of me begins to reverse away or retreat away from intense sensations. I'm going to really lean into that left leg with my breath. Very wholesomely feel that right shoulder and how it's weight bearing. And then deepen my breath into my lungs, into my rib cage as it spirals. Nice. Great. Both the knees to the floor and come all the way up to stand. So how do you come stand? How do you come all the way up? Nice. Come stand to the front of your mat. We're just going to do something short and standing. So let's engage our feet again. We were doing this a few mornings. So lift your heels up. And how do you slow the movement down that you're in control rather than falling down? How do you place your heels down? How do you feel that your toes are really powerful and that you can slow the movement down of an up and then of a down? Yeah, I can do two in control and then I do one that kind of collapses. And so see with you as you rise up and down, how connected are you to your calves, to the power of your feet? Nice. And then just let your heels hover off the floor. It's like you have 1 centimeter of a heel underneath your heels. And then just stand. So I'm literally just suspended on my toes. My heels are hovering. And I'm going to get taller. How would I get taller here? So for me, there's some kind of squeeze in my bum. There's length in my legs. I feel this rising through my spine. I'm getting taller. How would you get taller? Nice. Drop your heels to the floor. And from here, step your right foot back. And my right foot's at a 45-degree angle. Reach your right hand forward and bring your right elbow down towards your left thigh. Just pause there. Looking down at the left foot. So how do I engage into that back leg? So right foot, push it down into the floor. Find your baby toe side of your foot. Lengthen your leg. And I'm going to lean into the front of that right thigh. I'm going to lengthen my torso out of that right thigh. I'm going to push my right elbow down and feel length through my spine. So how do I truly lengthen the whole right side of my body? The right side of my neck is lengthening. I have a sense of breath through the right side. Left side is shortening. There's the left knee bent, left hip is compressed, left ribs are compressed, whereas the right side is long. Really lean into that length. Right elbow is forward on the left thigh. Get longer. So push into that right foot like you're pushing the couch away from you. How do you do that? Push even more. Nice. Come all the way forward. Other side. So step the left foot back, way back. Back foot's at a 45-degree angle. Spiral your torso and bring your left elbow forward to your right thigh. Kind of my forearm that's resting on my right thigh, right knee. Now, find that length on the left side. So push down into the baby toe side of your foot. Lean into your calf. Open into the front of your thigh. Create a sense of opening through the deep belly. Lengthening through the ribs. Connecting into the shoulder. I feel the side of my neck lengthening as I breathe. Oh, that's interesting. I can feel, this is the leg that I broke. And this angle here is just a wonderful meeting of something that's really softening in my calf. So that feels really nourishing for my calf right now. Feels like a really wholesome softening that's happening of something that was tight. Deepen your breath, get longer, get deeper. Super. Come all the way down, sit on the floor. How do you do that? How do you sit on the floor? How do you find a graceful, smooth way of sitting on the floor? Roll into your ankles. How deeply can you roll your feet? And then roll in the other direction. Nice. Soles of your feet together, knees apart. Hold it onto your ankles and then pull. So somehow that pull for me creates an opening or a lengthening into my chest. That resistance through my body creates something I can lean into. So lean up into your chest as you pull with your hands on your shins. Deepen your breath into your belly. Nice. Come lie on the floor. Come all the way down, land on the floor. You can have your knees bent. You can have your legs long. Just take a moment to pause. Nice. How wonderful. How lovely. I feel an enlivening in my feet that feels really glorious. I was walking down the stairs yesterday and I was like, I can feel my feet and my legs. It was really like there was new sensations in my calves from the work that we were doing. So have a wonderful day. I'm going to tell you a story just before I go. If you're still lying down, I'll tell you a story. Story time. So all summer I've been shoring up or fixing up my, I was going to say my fox coop, my chicken coop. So at the beginning of the summer, it really was every year it kind of tumbles down a bit and, grass grows in and there's holes and there's bits. And so I cleared out all the stuff from inside in the coop. And then I got these metal rods and I pushed down the wiring all the way around. And then I got cable ties and I fixed all the holes in the fences. And then I got down the back, the fox was jumping over because there was rocks. And so I put these really high, big fences across the back. And then I painted the coop. And then I replaced all the straw and all the things inside and really tidied up inside. And then it kept coming in. It kept kind of going under. So then I got all this wire fencing and I made it into an L shape so that it can't go in and it can't go under anymore. So we put that all the way around. And so it's like this ongoing chess game that I'm playing with the fox. Every morning I go out and let the chickens out and I walk around and I see where the fox has interacted with my fence. And so yesterday morning, even though it's now like maybe 2 foot high metal all the way around, it had eaten a big hole in the fence above my metal fence. And so then I was like, oh, I need more. So it's really amazing. Me and this fox are having this very deep conversation. I do something, it does something. I do something, it does something. So I have no, I love that the fox is living nearby in the forest, but I do have to protect my chickens. So I will keep you updated on the ongoing drama of me and my fox, our ongoing relationship. So have a great day, and I will see you all tomorrow. Lovely. Bye.